Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. It is approximately 11:21 p.m. and the date is Friday, August 16th, 2018. Why does that sound incorrect? Let me check. It is Friday, August 17th, 2018. So I want to catch up with all of you because it's been quite eventful the last few days. So, first of all, the alumni check-in day, the alumni day was really beautiful. It was my very first. As most of you know, I participated in Bare Your Soul for the first time in January 2017. That was the Bare Your Soul in January is subtitled Winter Hibernation because bears hibernate, and the one in August is called Summer Camp. So, so obviously, I'm participating in Bare Your Soul Summer Camp because it's in August. It's my very first summer camp. It's my very first Bare Your Soul summer camp. I'm having a wonderful time. I want to talk a little bit about some of the workshops in which I've participated, and I want to go back to I want to go back actually to the Alumni Heart Check-in. The Alumni Heart Check-in, which was on Tuesday night. So, as I mentioned, because I've participated in at least one Bare Your Soul prior to this one, I'm considered alumni, which means that I'm entitled to arrive a day earlier and reconnect with alumni, or rather reconnect with other participants who have participated in Bare Your Soul prior to the current one. And it really is a lovely way to reconnect with people that I haven't seen in a long time. And some of them I had met for the first time. So because since January 2017, there was Bare Your Soul Summer Camp in August 2017 and Bare Your Soul Winter Hibernation in January 2018. So, there were participants from that. And of course, there were alumni that weren't able to make it this time around. So, we sent a blessing their way for whatever they were dealing with or whatever that prevented them from being here. So that was beautiful. And I shared about the stuff that's come up for me, and some things I'm not necessarily going to share with all of you. But one thing that I did notice recently is that I have forgotten how to ask for help. And one of the things that I had asked of all my fellow alumni is that if they see me, they are more than welcome to ask me, "Are you okay?" And I might say yes. I might say no. They're also more than welcome. In other words, they also have my blanket permission to ask me if I need anything. And again, I might say yes. I might say no. And I certainly don't want to put my alumni in a position where it's like, yeah, this is what I need, and if you can do it, great, and if you can't, that's fine. I don't want them to feel that they are obligated. And interestingly enough, I think that um, only two people have only two fellow alumni have approached me since I've been here and asked me, is there anything you need? And I think I inadvertently gave this impression like, well, what I need is for somebody to wait on me hand and foot, and if you can do that, that's great. And that's really not how I show up in the world. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. And as usual, the food has been fantastic. I have not overindulged. I haven't underindulged. In fact, earlier today, I actually skipped lunch. But that's another story. So, one of the new, well, no, it's not a new workshop, but one of the workshops that really resonated with me is called um, The Ritual of Self Awareness and Acceptance, also known as the Ritual of Self Awareness and Recognition. And I really, really, really enjoyed that workshop very much. I benefited from it very much. It was an opportunity for me to be completely vulnerable and completely um, self-expressed, and to really place my trust in a lot of people. And the interesting thing was that um, there was only one individual in that workshop that I knew prior to that workshop. So, no, two actually. The person who facilitated it and one of the other participants. So it really was an opportunity for me to, um, to use the Michelle Swan Graham's "the Swan of Dreamers" expression, uh, deep dive in and say, okay, committed I am, how committed am I to transforming my life? How committed am I to manifesting deep and powerful healing? And it seems like every day, the person who led this workshop has complimented me on how many benefits and how many breakthroughs I've already had, and it's been really amazing. It really has. How I have developed being more at peace, how I've manifested rather being more at peace at the issues that I was struggling with. I cannot deny that my enjoyment of my participation has grown. My enjoying interactions with other people has become more fulfilling. I've enjoyed spending time with other participants more than I expected to, and I think that it has also, um, I'm going to say prosperously, because I'm not this, I'm so over the positive thinking thing. It's like, positive thinking doesn't do it for me anymore. It's like, it needs to be prosperous thinking. And I think back to one of my favorite passages from Catherine Ponder's Open Your Mind to Prosperity. You are prosperous to the degree that you are experiencing peace, health, and plenty in your world. And in the last 2 days, there has been more peace. There's been a whole lot more peace. There's been a lot more health, physical and emotional. I mean, yes, I'm still huffing and puffing when I'm climbing an incline, but I'm not, I don't feel exhausted. I haven't slept much since I've been here, and that's from a few factors. I mean, I'm so accustomed to my bed. I'm so accustomed to sleeping a certain way. My cats are home, you know, um, and this quad room has a fan in the window, which is not ventilating that much. So I'm used to like having the fans blowing on me, and the windows open and all this other stuff. So I know that I'm gonna sleep a lot more when I get back home, and I'm looking forward to that. The food has been fantastic. Even today for dinner we had polenta. Now I think I've had polenta once before, and this polenta was so good. It was just like all these, green beans and mixed vegetables, and there was this chicken that was just like, I mean, it was perfectly seasoned. It was perfectly broiled, baked. What was it?
I think it was
Okay, broiled. That's my awesome audiovisual person, by the way. So yes, he's here. So it's been really great, and it was so funny because my weather witcheries kind of like missed the mark. So we did have a storm. There was plenty of thunder and lightning and rain and wind, and it was so funny because there was a tornado watch. When it comes to the weather, I tend to visit a website called NOAA. It is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And I was reading the weather uh, info for this morning and this evening, and it said possibility of a tornado or two. Tornado or two. I'm like, really? Tornado or two? And I'm just like, that doesn't sound appealing. By the way, there has not been a tornado. So if you're worried about my safety, please know that I am very safe. I'm very divinely protected. It has been I really. The irony is that when it came to eating dinner, all the rooms, all the tables were occupied. And I looked at my awesome audiovisual person and said, we need to eat there. Now, there was the main deck as in outdoors, with tables that have umbrellas. We both got wet. We did. I was a little concerned because, the tables are metal, the chairs are metal. I'm wearing jewelry, so the concern of becoming Southern Fried Robert did concern me. But I've never been one of those people to like eat standing up, holding a plate and then holding this and having to put the cup on the chair. No, no. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So I want to talk about one of the other workshops in which I participated. So of course, um, given that I was going to participate in Bare Your Soul, I participated in the core workshop of Bare Your Soul, which is called Loving Our Bare Bodies. It is beautiful, it is amazing, it's transformative, it's cathartic. I don't like to say too much about it because um, I, I'll tell you why I don't like to say too much about it. Because number one, there are certain things that people can take out of context, and I could say, well, this is what this workshop is about. And the fact of the matter is that um, I, one thing that I could say, somebody could take out of context, and somebody could say, oh, well, then I guess it's this kind of a workshop or that kind of a workshop. No, it's a very powerful workshop. It's structured a certain way. And Freddie Freeman, who co-founded, who's also known as Golden Heart, that's his bare name, and who co-founded Bare Your Soul with his husband Jay Freeman, they talked, he shared about how this came about, why there was a need for Bare Your Soul. And I love the story, and I'll share a little bit of it. He talked about how when he was performing at different bear runs nationally, that he would enjoy himself because he loves playing his guitar, he loves singing, he loves playing the piano, he loves being a musician, and he loves being a singer-songwriter. And so, when he would go to perform at these bear runs, and the event at which he performed, he co-created, or he created, it's called Bearapalooza. I know, right? So Bearapalooza. And so he would perform Bearapalooza at different bear runs in the country. And he found that he was meeting guys who would fat shame him, who would body shame him, who would say that he wasn't a real bear because of his size. And it was like, what's that about? And he really did some deep inner work and some deep soul searching and engaging in meditation and prayer and journal writing and doing all the other things that he does that are part of his spiritual practices. And what came up for him was not only loving our bare bodies, but bare your soul. And I'm giving you the gist of the story. I'm not saying it anywhere near as beautifully or as eloquently as Freddie Freeman, also known as Golden Heart, says it. But that's the gist of it. And again, it really resonates with me. Especially as somebody who has not always loved my bare body, not always loved the way my body looks like, or the way my body doesn't look like, and who at one point believed what other people said or thought or decreed or declared about what my body is and what my body shouldn't be. So I really love participating in loving our bare bodies, and for me, it's just like, well, why wouldn't I participate in this particular workshop, especially since it is the core workshop of the Bare Your Soul program, of the Bare Your Soul event. So so that was amazing. It was just amazing and beautiful and powerful and cathartic. And it's actually the fourth time in which I've participated in Loving Our Bare Bodies. The first one was in January 2017 when I participated in Bare Your Soul Winter Hibernation. The second time was through Pod NYC and in New York City. And the third time was in an event that Bare Your Soul and Pod NYC co-produced and co-created, which was called Spirit of the Bear, which was at it was at Rainbow Mountain Resort in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and my fourth time was yesterday. It's no less powerful. It's no less cathartic. I am no expert in loving our bare bodies, and it's funny because it wouldn't even occur to me to say, oh yeah, I got this program down pat. Like, no, no, no. That you know, and at some point before the conclusion of this Bare Your Soul summer camp, I need to share that with Golden Heart and say, listen, for my own peace of mind, I want you to know that just because I've participated in loving our bare bodies 4 times, I do not consider myself an expert in loving our bare bodies. That kind of mentality would massively shortchange me in what I could get out and what I could receive from participating in it. So that was that. So then, now one thing I really was looking forward to more on the fun side as opposed to the workshop side was an acoustic evening with Charles K. Brown. It just so happens that Charles K. Brown, also known as Chabaer, capital Chabaer, used to perform with the Freemans during Barapalooza. And they had this reunion concert of sorts last night, which I enjoyed so much. It was a combination of original songs by both Freddie Freeman, also known as Golden Heart, and Charles K. Brown, also known as Chabaer. And I loved that they also performed these beautiful songs. It was so funny because, there are some songs that, like, I hear the open, and mind you, I'm not Mr. King of Name That Tune. Like, there are some songs I've probably heard a bazillion times. I'll hear somebody play it on the radio. I'm like, I know that song. What song is that? Don't know it until I hear the first lyrics. But one of the songs that just moves me to tears is John Lennon's Imagine. And Charles K. Brown performed that song last night and moved me to tears. And then there was another song that he performed that I hadn't heard in a long time. I was pleasantly surprised that I still remembered all the lyrics. And it was The Rose, which was originally performed by Bette Midler for the motion picture of the same name. These deeply moving, beautiful songs that touched my heart in a very, very deep and profound way, and even after all these years still do. It's funny because when I listen to those songs, I cry. Another one is the Muppet song, The Lovers, the Dreamers, and Me. And I cry every time I hear that song, and it's not because I'm sad. It's because oh my goodness, they touch my heart so deeply. They resonate with me, and there's this beautiful possibility of the world being a better place that's sung through those songs, that is expressed at least energetically through those songs. So I hear those songs, it's like the waterworks. I've shed a lot of tears since I've been here, more than I would prefer, but I knew that the tears were very essential. They were very cleansing tears. They've been very cleansing tears, and I knew that they were necessary. I knew that I had a lot of stuff, a lot of gunk, as V Swan of Dreamers would say, and I knew that gunk was going to resurface and be surrendered and released and vanish back to the nothingness from whence they came. And I knew that it was a process, and it has been a process. I don't look at this as a vacation. I don't. This is not Club Med to be. When I go on a vacation, I go on a vacation. When I go to a workshop, when I participate in a program like Bare Your Soul, it's because I'm doing some deep inner work, some deep inner soul work, and some deep cleansing work. The same thing with a Sacred Solitude Sojourn. I am engaging in 3 days of sacred solitude, and I have no contact with the outside world, and my computer is off, and my cell phone is off, because I do not want to interact with the world of men. I want to remain firmly ensconced, if you will, in the realms of the goddess. And that's where I need to be when I do that. I know that some people have referred to this as a vacation. They're more than welcome to. I have no issue with it, but this is not a vacation to me. When I think of a vacation, I am not uh, working through my shit. I'm not like processing my bullshit. I'm not like, yeah, this to me is not a vacation. Am I having a good time? Yes. Am I making connections? Yes. Am I enjoying my life? Yes. Am I eating a lot of great food? Yes. Am I working through some deep shit? Absolutely. Am I, enjoying playing in the pool and hiking and doing all those things? Yes. But collectively, this is not a vacation to me. And for the record, given how workshop heavy my schedule has been, I have not had the time to go hiking yet. It did rain more than once today, but I still want to go hiking tomorrow, if only for a little bit. And a semi-regular client, well, it's funny because I didn't expressly promise her that I would do something for her while I was here, but I feel very strongly led to do it while I am here. And it will be much easier to do it tomorrow, which is Saturday, listen to me, Saturday, April 18th, than 2018, as opposed to Sunday, April 19th, 2018, because that's the last day. So the workshops have been great. I've been also enjoying the small group meetings, the small group house meetings. I believe I mentioned previously that I'm in the honey house, because we all sweet. I love saying it like that. No, but seriously, I mean, really, everybody is sweet here. Everybody has so much to offer, and it's so funny because, um, one of the other individuals had shared with me that people are processing a lot of pain, and that makes sense because a lot of gay men have a lot of pain. We have a lot of pain with regards to shame, with regards to what religious authorities have said about us, what some of our blood relations have said about us, what former lovers and life partners have said about us, what society has said about us. So it really is very healing to come here. Now, here's an interesting, cool thing that happened. So, one of the new bears, one of the new participants, who was given a ride along with my awesome audiovisual person, happens to be somebody who was involved in FlameCon. Yes, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. So, I mean, this guy was born to be a turbo nerd. I'll just tell you that right now. And he actually co-created a program here at Eastern Mountain called Nerdvana. And I want to tell you, I would love to participate in Nerdvana. I really, really would. Especially since this year's edition focuses on space, and I really do love space shows. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I've watched virtually every Star Trek motion picture. I've watched virtually every Star Wars motion picture, if not having already watched every Star Wars motion picture. I've read media tie-in novels for Star Trek, the original series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. I'm watching the Orville, and I really dig, space shows. Even space shows that are indirectly connected to space, like Doctor Who. I'm a big Whovian. Big Whovian. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, when I'm in Beacon and I go to the Pandorica restaurant, I mean, I'm taking so many photographs and posting them on my Instagram account. So I'm a massive Whovian. I mean, I know there are Whovians that are bigger Whovians than me, but I'm no slouch when it comes to the Whovian department, my dear. So it was really great talking to this other participant, this new bear, about Nerdvana and about FlameCon, and I really enjoyed. And it was so funny because my awesome audiovisual person was wearing this T-shirt. It's a heather gray T-shirt, and in the front almost like chakra style, are different ships. You know, there's a Battlestar cruiser. I think I'm saying that incorrectly. There's a Star Trek Enterprise ship. I forgot what it's called, but you know what I mean. The classification. There's a TARDIS. You know, such great, what a great T-shirt. And I remember I saw that T-shirt and I'm like, I need to give you this T-shirt because it's so cool and you want it and it'll make you happy and it's an expression of gratitude for everything you do for me and give me. And I really loved doing that. And it was so funny because that T-shirt was at the very first FlameCon, which was at the Grand Prospect Hall in Brooklyn. I can't do the accent the way the couple would do it in the commercial, but those of you who were born and raised in Brooklyn and in New York City, you can hear that accent in your minds. I have slept. You know, I think virtually every day I've taken a nap, which has been really good and really necessary. I haven't stayed out late. I've had fun in the pool. You know, I could honestly say that I'm not necessarily becoming a summer person. You know, I like summer. There are things that I love about summer. There are things that I love about spring. But when it comes to my preferred seasons, the ones that I really love and enjoy seeing and feeling and being enveloped in, autumn and winter. And it's interesting because one of my favorite people on the planet is not here. And I thought for sure, especially since she's alumni, that she would be here. And I don't mean to out her, and I hope I'm not outing her, but it's the Reverend Yolanda. So I was a little disappointed that she wasn't here, but I found out not too long after the alumni day that she only participates with her husband in the winter hibernation editions. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. But I am looking forward to seeing her again. The dates for the rest of the year for her church with the two minimum concert, at concerts at the Sidewalk Cafe on Avenue A, in the Lower East Side, in the East Village section of Manhattan, have already been scheduled. I already have them in my calendar. And this video is a little bit longer than I thought it would be, so I do apologize. Um, let's see, what else? So I definitely enjoyed Partnered Stretch. Now there is somebody who um, is one of the yoga instructors for Pod NYC. His name is Carlos. I love Carlos. I love his teaching style. I always rave about his bear yoga classes with Pod NYC. And about a month ago, a little more than a month ago, he told me that he was going to lead a partnered stretch yoga class here. And I got very excited because, you know, I love engaging in yoga. I love having a yoga practice. I love um, participating in yoga. I love having that as part of my movement practice, at least on a monthly basis. It works for my schedule and it works for my budget to participate in the bear yoga classes through Pod NYC at least once a month. So the fact that I've had the opportunity to participate in two of his classes this month, well, I haven't participated in the other one yet. The other one's on Monday, August 20th at Pod NYC in Manhattan. But I really dug this. I really enjoyed his workshop a lot more than I thought I would. And I said it like that because, you know, I had never engaged in partnered yoga. It was fun. It definitely was a workout. I definitely enjoyed it very much, and I loved seeing how much I've grown. And that's one thing that I can honestly say about Carlos's bear yoga classes. I can see how much I've grown. I can see how much easier certain asanas are. I can see how there's less wobble when I engage in a certain asana. And there are some that it's like I'm still like learning how to do it. I'm still learning how to move through that stuff and move through that wobble and move through that lack of experience or what have you. And I love that Carlos always reminds his students, I am here for you. You are not here for me. I am here to be of service to you, not the other way around. And he knows from personal experience that not every yoga instructor is like that. So I love that he is committed to making yoga as enjoyable and as powerful an experience for his students. So I was more than happy to honor my word and participate in his partner stretch workshop, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it was interesting because what he wanted to do was pair up somebody who had more experience with somebody who doesn't. And I was one of the ones that had more experience. And what really made me happy was that there is a resident yogi at Easton Mountain called Tim Cooley. And Tim Cooley was a participant in that workshop. So that was like, what a feather in his cap. That really, really, really made me happy to see him there. When it comes to Tim Cooley's yoga class, I always do it my last day. That's like my commitment. And I love his yoga class, and I enjoyed his yoga class the first time I did it in January 2017. So I'm really looking forward to participating in Tim Cooley's yoga class on Sunday morning. It's about 45 minutes to an hour long. It's very intense. It's very enjoyable, and you get a workout. So, and I love that he's the Easton Mountain resident yogi. I just love that. So let me see what else. I am gonna keep this relatively short. Um, that's another thing that I really enjoyed. I've been really enjoying the small group house meetings. They've been a lot of fun. They've been very insightful. I love learning more about my fellow honey bears, and really, and one of them happens to be one of my bunkmates. So I really get to like enjoy his energy so much, and he's a new bear, just like my awesome audiovisual person. So I really dig spending time with this guy. I love his conversations. I love what he shares about his life. I love his insights into people. I love how, and this is a guy who is the living essence of fabulosity. Just to let you know, he is beyond fabulous. He has, I saw his outfit for the talent show tonight. Yes, Bare Your Soul has a talent show, and I've never gone. And you know what? It's not a bad thing. I mean, I really felt I needed an extra nap today, and that's one of the things that I love about Bare Your Soul. The participants are encouraged to engage in self-care. Like really, they have, it's a no judgment zone with regards to people's bodies, with regards to what they do, with regards to whether or not they participate in all the workshops or none. But there is this strong commitment to self-care. Like you need to take care of yourself, whatever you need to do. Do you need to eat? Do you need to have a snack? Do you need to take a nap? Do you need to do this? Do you need to do that? There really is that commitment. And, you know, it gave me an opportunity to take a nap and check my email and do these things. And so I really enjoyed, I love that. That makes me very happy. And, you know, I'm sure that at some point I will go to the talent show. But it didn't draw me. And there were some really great people who performed and wore these amazing costumes. But for me, it was just like, no, this is an opportunity for me to really take extra special care of myself, really rest, really decompress. And I also wanted to do this video because my commitment was to do at least one video a day. That hasn't happened. And I know that none of you are going to give me grief about that. But I don't want to give me grief about that, you know? So, I could say more, but I'm looking at the time, and I really want to upload this and all that other good stuff. But YouTube, thank you so much as always for honoring who I am and what I do. Pardon me. I am thoroughly enjoying participating in Bare Your Soul Summer Camp. I cannot wait to return to participate in Bare Your Soul Winter Hibernation in January 2019. And I definitely am going to upgrade to different accommodations because I don't have a medical condition that prevents me from sleeping on the top bunk, or climbing the ladder to the top bunk. But I've decided, you know what? I think it's time to upgrade to something else. So the semi-private rooms each have 2 full-size beds, and that will make me feel more comfortable and that will make me feel more relaxed. And it'll be in the winter, so I won't need to worry about how hot the room's going to be. I did hear that after this Bare Your Soul summer camp, uh, the rooms are going to have air conditioners. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how feasible that is, but I did hear that was the case. Um, I won't deny that it's been very warm. It is August in upstate New York. It's going to be very warm. And the fact of the matter is that um, there was a workshop in which I participated earlier, and when it was raining, you had the ceiling fans on, you had the different standing fans, and you had these deliciously cooling breezes. So I can't complain because Mother Nature knows what she's doing, and she's like, okay, they need a little cooling. So yeah, I'm happy for that, and I'm very happy that I'm here at Easton Mountain again, and that I'm participating in my very first Bare Your Soul summer camp, my very second Bare Your Soul, but my very first Bare Your Soul summer camp. And yes, there are some people that have tents, and no, I'm not one of them. And yes, I'm not one of them. And no, I'm not going to be one of them. I've done the tent thing before. Yeah, you do the tent. I'm doing something else. Anyway, have a great night. I wish you many blessings. Until tomorrow. Bye.